Hi, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching. Welcome to Money Wellness. My name is Ray Wheeler. I am a financial coach. I appreciate you if this is your first time. If you're a continued watcher, thank you. I appreciate you. So for what we're going to be doing, actually for the month of February, Black History Month, all the content will be focused on the African American community. So I really urge you to plug in for the subscribe, make sure that you're getting all this content and sharing all this information. It's going to be very powerful this month. So I appreciate that. What I like to do on this channel, if it's your first time, is I like to meet every single episode. That means I like to motivate, educate, empower, and hopefully that leads to you taking some actions in your life. So today's motivation of the day, I have two songs for you, okay? So the first one's gonna be for my hip hop heads that wanna have that parental advisory. It's by Kendrick Lamar. It's called All-Right. And in that verse, or in his song, he says, all my life I've had to fight, right? Hard times like, yeah, right? And there were times before when we've been down and low, right? Looking around like, where can we go from here? And no matter what, we gonna be all right, right? We gonna be all right. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? I said we are going to be all right. Do you understand? And so that hits very powerful because today, when we talk about resiliency with rising above your situation, it's just very powerful. And then the other song for my Christian hip hop heads is going to be by Ty Tribbett, and that's also called "We Gonna Be All Right," right? And in that song, it's the same thing. And he starts it off by saying, "I have been fighting doubt," and that's huge because a lot of us, if you know, is the biggest fear is us doubting ourselves, right? And the world is crazy and all this stuff, and we're all stressed out and all this stuff, right? But we're gonna be all right. So check out both those songs. They're really great. They're really powerful songs. And yeah, so today's topic of the day is going to be about financial literacy. And specifically, I'm going to be talking about financial literacy in the African American population. So financial literacy basically is your understanding of financial terms and understanding, be able to do personal finances. And you can find any of the tests. All you have to do is Google financial literacy test, and you will be able to take one, see how you do. Well, the average population gets around a 60% on that, so they get about a 6 out of 10, right? Not bad, but we're also not passing, right? So we have a lot of work to do in the financial literacy area, right? Unfortunately, in the African American community, right, we're even worse than that. We are at 38%. That means you are answering 3 out of 10 questions, and that is not good enough. That is keeping you behind. And it has to go into with a larger thing of education as a whole, where we are only where African American men are only graduating at 34%, while our sisters, our queens, our black women are out here and they are graduating at 44%, and they're trying to actually push the standard and get up into those 60 rates like everyone else is doing. Right now, before you get too discouraged, right, I want to sit there and kind of bring it back to let you understand why our financial literacy rates are like that, right? So, in anything in life, right, you need to be taught, correct? You need to sit there and someone shows you how to tie your shoe or to pull your pants up or literally do anything, right? Someone had to show you, and who usually shows you those important things, right? It's usually your parents or your grandparents, right? That's who's teaching you these things. And so if you know anything about American history, right, African Americans were enslaved for a very long period of time, and then after they became free, right, it was still frowned upon, right, for them to be educated, for them to learn to read and write and do things like that, right? Wanted them to stay in laborer jobs and not do any jobs that would allow you to actually use your brain or increase like that, right? And throughout history, right, we've had this same theology, right, of either be intellectual or to sit there and use the labor, right? And so our brother Booker T. Washington was about the labor, right? Because, hey, we need to get your foot in the door. You got to do something. They're not going to let you into those institutions. You're wasting your time. You got to put food on the table, and you know how to do these things, right? Trades are also very important, right? And we're learning that now, again, that trades are important, just as important as, you know, going to be a doctor and lawyer and things like that. So don't get me wrong either way. I'm talking about trades. They're very important. The same way that intellectual is and going to get that type of education, like W.D. Du Bois said, right? He wanted us to go get education so that we could sit there and, because knowledge is power, and once we have that knowledge, we can actually run those business, right? So we're not always being just the laborer, we can actually take ownership of that, right? So you have to realize that we have those theologies fighting each other, and then you can't even have your elders don't even know how to read. So we can sit there and we can have all this knowledge, right? W. Du Bois could write a book, Booker T. Washington can give a speech, and this stuff can be in papers or whatever. But if you can't read it, pass that knowledge down, then how do you get it, right? So if your grandparents didn't know, right, your great-great-grandparents, and then those grandparents and those grandparents and those great aunties and all those, right? If they didn't know and they couldn't teach, you know, other generations, then how would you expect to know, right? Your mama and your daddy, no one taught you, right? So that 38% financial literacy, right, doesn't tell the whole story, right? And so I want to make sure that you understand that whole story and don't discourage yourself, right? And that's the whole reason for that motivation, because we're going to be all right. We've been down and out before, but we've gotten better, right? If you do and you do your research, we got better. And we created this thing called Black Wall Street, and it was a booming economy, okay? So it has been proven that African Americans can do it. They can get the education to do it, right? You just have to fight the doubt and go get that education, do you understand me? So that we can do what I know we can do, right? The technology is out there. You can sit there and educate yourself, right? First thing you can do by helping educate yourself is subscribing to pages like mine or picking up books and sitting there and getting your knowledge better, right? That's how you can do it. So that is your action, okay? Your action is to sit there, and I want you to do some personal growth and figure out better about your personal finances, right, on this journey. I urge you to just do your personal development, right? And it doesn't take long. It could be 30, 15, 10, 9 minutes a day. It's what I try to provide you so that you get it and then you can use it, right? And do whatever you want. So if this message today has it resonated with you, I want you to share it, please, to somebody so they can understand, so they get that motivation to keep doing it. It's going to be a great month, guys. Love y'all. Appreciate it. Stay blessed and keep chasing your dreams.